What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out my video. The first item I want to talk about on my desk is the core of my setup, and that is the M1 16-inch MacBook Pro. I wouldn't be able to use most of my setup without this. The mini LED display is amazing, and Apple puts great attention into their speakers. This is the M1 Pro chip with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabytes of SSD. Funny thing is I actually cleaned this computer before the video, but you can see a pot print there, so my cat's been having fun again. But either way, the anodization that Apple does on their computers doesn't really look good after time. But I'll talk more about this computer in a separate video. I'm currently using a third of my storage, and that is thanks to the Charge disk. This is an enclosure for an NVMe 2230 SSD. I'm using a 1 terabyte Sabrent. I load all my Mac games, Steam games, official soundtracks that I get from Steam, and whatever other goodies from there as well. What I love about this is that slider has a magnet on it, so it makes a great fidget toy. It makes it really easy to place in the silicone case there. That clear cover actually comes off and allows you to keep the SSD cool with consistent speeds. The cable that it comes bundled with is packaged really convenient, and it's really solid when you don't want to take it out of the silicone case. This is the Origbly, I think I'm saying that right, DVD read and rewritable. This also has USB-A ports with SSD and micro SSD on the back. This also connects to the computer in a really weird way. But I don't use it enough. I also think it functions as a USB hub, but I rarely ever use it. This is the HP Prime, and I loved using this a lot when I was in school, in my math classes and chemistry. I don't use it as much today. It's way more powerful than anything I would need it for. I mainly use it for budgeting and grocery shopping. This has a backlit touchscreen. It's really powerful. It displays graphics better than the TI Inspire. I've downloaded a bunch of third-party apps from forums. I actually forgot how to use this because I don't use it as much as I used to. Such a shame. This is my jungle of cords. I did my best to keep things neat. This is the BenQ PD32-2OU. This is a 4K display that supports HDR10. Delta E less than 3. This comes with a handy little puck that you'll see when I show off the speaker. The BenQ PD32 is mounted to the Mount It full motion single monitor desk mount. I had to reinforce a couple of areas when I installed this on my desk because the monitor arm and the monitor... Sorry about that. My cat Kuromi actually knocked down my camera over and I had to reset everything up. But anyways, as I was saying, what I love about this mounted monitor arm is that It is made of great solid quality, and it has a gasket that allows me to easily move this approximately 30-pound monitor. It allows me to rotate the monitor in 90 degrees, which is excellent for articles. That right angle USB-C adapter that you saw on the right side of my monitor actually feeds all the way through the monitor arm and connects to my hip DAC 2. These are some other DAC amps that I would like to do a video on. This is the iFi hip DAC 2. The knob turns on and off the device, but it's also the volume control. This also has a bass boost, which I pretty much use on everything, and a power match option, which is a little much for IEMs and my desktop speakers, which I'll get to in a bit. This has your standard 3.5 millimeter jack and also a balanced 4.4 millimeter jack. This also takes a specific type of USB-A adapter. This is my Steam Deck OLED. I use the official Steam dock and an HDMI connection. I have a USB-A connected so I could use the same keyboard that I use for my other devices. This is the 1 terabyte model that comes with the matte screen. I figured I would go with this one because it's a mobile device, and if I do take it out, I would like the diffusion of light. I'm using the Deep brand Kill Switch case that also comes with just the front skin. I also customized the buttons to have a Nintendo layout. I'm showing how the matte screen will diffuse LED light. It doesn't look bad from my angle like it does here in the video. And I'm also showing how the BenQ PD23 is also diffusing light because it also does have a matte screen. I love using the Steam Deck as a handheld, but I equally love it as much as a desktop. More of like a mobile desktop, but it's awesome that I can actually get into Linux now. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and Valve has made it so easy for me to get into. I don't know if you can tell here, but I have LED lights on. I have the window open with the sun coming through, and this screen is really handling that light well. This is Drop's BMR1. I use iFi hip DAC 2 and connect directly to this with a 3.5 audio jack. The BMR1 is clear and projects sound throughout the room. And that is because these are not normal speakers. They are radiator speakers. I don't know the technology well enough to fully describe it, but for me, these are the best desk speakers I have owned. I actually can't use the power match on the iFi hip DAC 2 on the BMR1s because it creates so much vibration that if it's near metal, like my mounted monitor arm, it creates a vibrating, buzzing distortion. So I had to rearrange my desk in order to get the sound really clear. But these things definitely vibrate and project sound amazingly well. The grills here come in different colors. I ended up getting 2 of them. And they attach magnetically really easy, so if you ever wanted to swap the colors based on feels, you can do it at a whim. You can also change the orientation from horizontal to vertical, but I'll talk about that more in another video. I connect my Steam Deck via Bluetooth to the BMR1s, and that's simply because HDMI doesn't support universal peripheral through the monitor. This is the Drop Alt V2. The caps are Drop's Starlight Purple series. I work in the dark, and that is why I chose this keyboard. It is a low profile. I really like looking at the switches and having them exposed. The feet at the bottom are magnetic, and they're really cool. I just wish Drop would sell a greater degree of different sizes. Overall, I'm really happy with the quality and feel of this keyboard. The switches are Holy Panda X Clear and Gateron Yellow switches. I use the Holy Panda X Clears for all the numbers and letters, and I use the Gateron Yellow switches for everything around the border. I wanted to show you the removal of the switches themselves so you could see the hot swappable board, but sometimes they can be really difficult to remove the switches, and with my current setup, I would have toppled everything over. Anytime I want to switch from macOS to Linux, all I have to do is unplug one USB-C and plug the other one in on the other side. I use this Logitech MX Anywhere 3 for Mac mouse. I especially use this for desktop mode on my Steam Deck. I do use both a Magic Trackpad and a Magic Mouse on my Mac. It really comes down to based on feels and what I'm doing, whether it's working on a project or playing video games. Because I have my Magic Trackpad and my Magic Mouse connected through the monitor, it automatically connects to my 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro. I really only connect this 13-inch MacBook Pro when I need to charge it, but as a daily use, it's more of a mobile device for me. This one has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Because this is lighter and easier to take, I don't really do any power work when I'm out and about. I specifically got this M2 13-inch MacBook Pro for the Touch Bar. I was obsessed when I first got it. I played with it all week. I even took a lot of time to customize it with Better Touch Tool. I really do enjoy using the Touch Bar and how it dynamically changes depending on what app I'm in and what tool I'm using. It is so much easier to change things like brush sizes or opacity. One thing I always have connected to this MacBook Pro is this Hitachi USB hub. This gives me the two USB-A ports and two USB-C ports that I always use. The amazing thing is that this supports 6K at 60 Hertz. My only issue has nothing to do with the Hitachi USB hub. It has to do with Apple and them limiting this Pro machine to output to one display only.
What?
I know, right? Thanks, Nopon. This is the ZenSlabs Medium tablet. This was the first product I purchased from ZenSlabs. ZenSlabs really does give you a lot of accessories. You get a carrying case, a pen case with two pens, Bluetooth receiver, and if you opt in for the bundle, you get an amazing quick keys. The Bluetooth receiver sits here in the pen case and also has an adapter. The reason why ZenSlabs went with this type of Bluetooth is because of latency and stability. Here's the ZenSlabs Pen Display 24. Having a 4K resolution, 1.7 billion colors, Pantone validated and Pantone skin validated with 1000:1 contrast ratio. This also comes bundled with the quick keys at no extra cost. And the stand is easy to get to and easy to use. Above my ZenSlabs pen display is this BenQ e-reading desk lamp. Why I needed this lamp was because I was unable to do traditional drawing without heavy shadows casted by my graphite. This has cast light evenly and wide enough that it has made drawing and reading enjoyable. This BenQ desk lamp has a touch ring that allows you to do auto modes. All of my devices and other stuff sit on top of this desk, and it's pretty bare bones. This is where I keep my assorted tools and various drawing pads. Because the desk is light and slim, I managed to get a mini nightstand under here that I can stash some miscellaneous peripherals. This is a bonus thing that I sometimes do, and it is pretty cool. I do this so I can give my MacBooks a break from always being plugged into power. iPadOS has come a long way. I don't want macOS on the iPad. I just want Apple to bring basic computer utility to the iPad. I used to use the iPad Magic Keyboard, but I ended up selling that because the Smart Folio makes it easier for on-the-go art. It's also much lighter, so when I'm carrying the iPad and the Smart Folio with a bunch of other stuff in my bag, it does add up. This HyperDrive USB hub has been essential to my iPad. What makes it unique and really cool is that you can play music on your iPad and go to your drawing application and not have to break away from your drawing application just to change the track or pause music.